Hello students, welcome back. So today we are going to start our first chapter, real numbers, first class, and here we are going to discuss about revisiting number system. Means we will just recall all the type of numbers that we have already studied in the earlier classes from class 6 to class 9. We will not waste much time here. We will just keep this class short and just recall the definitions and examples of different types of number, and especially we will focus on rational and irrational numbers, and also we will define and identify real numbers, which numbers are known as real numbers. So let's start. At first we will discuss about natural numbers. These natural numbers are also known as counting numbers, means the numbers that we use for counting. Which numbers are used for counting? Yes, it starts from 1, then 2, 3 and so on, and there is no highest or the greatest natural number exists. Yes, the smallest natural number is 1, but we can't say which one is the greatest natural number, because if we take a great number or very large number, if we will add 1 to that, then that will become greater, and the process will be continued so on. So we can't find out the greatest natural number. Next, in class 6 we learnt about whole numbers. Whole numbers means 0 along with the natural numbers, and here the smallest whole number is 0 and the greatest whole number doesn't exist, as we had no greatest natural number. Okay, so next we in class 7 studied about integers. Integers means while to represent anything that is less than 0, to represent that we used negative numbers, and the negative numbers when added to this whole number set, the whole set now is called integers. So integers are all the whole numbers and along with the negatives of the natural numbers, that is -1, -2, -3 and so on. And the smallest integer cannot be found out, because as there is no greatest natural number, similarly there is no greatest negative natural number, so the smallest integer doesn't exist. Similarly the greatest integer doesn't exist. And here another thing to remember is the numbers, the integers that are less than 0 or lie on the left side of the 0 on number line are called negative integers. Okay, and the numbers or the integers that lie right side of the 0 on number line, or which are greater than 0, are called positive integers. 0 means that is not neither negative nor positive, but when we call non-negative integers, non-negative means the integers which are not negative. In that case we will get a number set which is 0 and all the positive integers. Okay, similarly if you are saying non-positive integers, non-positive means the numbers which are not positive. Not positive means all the negative numbers are not positive, along with that 0 is also not positive. So when we say non-negative, 0 and all the positive integers, when we say non-positive, 0 and the negative integers. Okay, next natural numbers, whole numbers, integers. Then we studied about fraction. Fraction means when a whole number is divided into some equal parts and we take sum of those parts, that is called fraction. For example, say we have one object or say one cake, and we divided it into 8 parts, 8 equal parts, and we took 2 of them. Then this can be represented as 2 out of 8, or it is written as 2 upon 8. Here 2 is called numerator and 8 is called denominator. Okay. So when a whole number is divided into some equal parts and some of those parts is taken, that is called fraction. This is also can be divided into two types, that is proper fraction, another one is improper fraction. And again this improper fraction can also be written as mixed fraction. I hope you would be remembering now all those things. Proper fraction means when the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Means if we divide some number into m parts and take n out of them where n is less than m. Okay, when the n or numerator is smaller than the denominator. Let me represent this denominator by d so that it will be easy for your understanding. When the numerator is less than the denominator, then it is called proper fraction. Similarly, if a number is divided into d parts and taken n parts where n is greater than d, means which is not possible. If you divide something into 10 parts and take 15 parts, we can take it properly, so it is called improper fraction. And this improper fraction can also be represented as mixed fraction. For example, say take an example, say 9 upon 4. Okay, so 9 upon 4, here numerator is greater than the denominator, so 9 upon 4 is an improper fraction. So how can you represent this as mixed fraction? 9 upon 4 means we have to divide 9 by 4, we will get 2 as quotient and 1 as remainder. 9 means if there are 9 parts to be taken and we have divided some fraction into 4 equal parts, we have to take 2 complete object, means 1, 2, 3, 4, then we have now 8 parts, and then we have to take another object and we have to divide that into 4 equal parts and we have to take 1 part. So you can see we have to take 2 complete objects and 1 out of 4 from 1 object. So you have to write that like this: 2 complete objects, 2, and 1 of the 4 parts of another object. So it can be represented as 2 and 1 by 4. And from this division also you can see 2 is the quotient, you have to write the quotient first, then you have to write the remainder, then you have to write the divisor. So to represent an improper fraction to mixed fraction, you just divide the numerator by the denominator, then write the quotient and then upon the divisor. Okay, so mixed fraction means you will get a whole number and along with that you will get a proper fraction. Okay, whole number along with a proper fraction form and a mixed fraction. So this is all about the fractions. Let's move to decimals. We know every fraction can be represented as decimal numbers, means by using decimal point. So these decimal numbers can be divided into two types, that is terminating, another one is non-terminating. Terminating decimals means the decimal numbers which is terminated or ended after some places to the decimal point. For example, if you will write 4.3256, so it is now terminated here at 6 after 4 decimal places. You can write also 0.05. This is also terminated after 2 decimal places. So which fractions can be expressed as terminating decimals? The fractions which have 10 or 10 to the any power in the denominator, or whose denominator can be expressed as the power of any power of 10, that can be represented as terminating decimal expansion. For example, 2 upon 10. This can be represented as 0.2. Then 234 upon 10,000. This can be represented as 0.0234. You have to just find out how many zeros are there in the denominator after 1. Then you have to write the numerator. Then you have to leave 4 places. Here there are 4 zeros, so I left 4 places. So you have to leave that much of digits equal to the number of zeros in the denominator. Then you have to put the decimal point. If there are not enough number of digits in the numerator, then you have to use zeros to complete the number of digits in, or make the number of digits same as the number of zeros in the denominator. Here there are 3 digits and there are 4 zeros. So I wrote 234, then we put another 0 here, then I have 4 digits now, then I will put the decimal point. These are the fractions which have 10 or 10 to the any power in the denominator. So there are no 10 to the power in the denominator, so there is 4 is there. Okay, so as there is 4, I can write it as 2 multiplied by 25 upon 4 multiplied by 25. I just multiplied 25 in the numerator and denominator. Now I have this same fraction as 50 upon 100. 2 by 4 now becomes 50 upon 100. Now I have 10 to the second power in the denominator. So I will put decimal point after 2 decimal places, or after 2 digits from the right side of the numerator. So now 2 upon 4 becomes 0.50. So these are some fractions which can be represented as terminating decimal numbers. Now let's move to non-terminating decimal number. Non-terminating decimal number can also be divided into 2 types, that is recurring, or we can say repeating. Then another one is non-repeating. So non-terminating decimal numbers can be represented, can be classified into 2 types of numbers, that is repeating and non-repeating. Repeating means let me write an example: 4.121212 and so on. And so on means it is not ending, so it is non-terminating. But you can see there is a repeating pattern: 1 2 1 2 1 2 and so on. So 1 2 1 2 is being repeated here. So this is called non-terminating repeating decimal numbers, and it can also be represented as 4.12 bar on 1 2. We have to put a bar on the digits which are being repeated. Here 1 2 is being repeated again and again, so we wrote this as 4 bar on 1 2. And this can also be expressed into fraction, or some fractions can be expressed into non-terminating repeating decimal numbers. Which fractions? Those fractions whose denominator can be expressed in the form of 10 to the any power, or the fractions in which the denominator's factorization doesn't contain 2 or 5 both. Okay, so here how to represent 4.12 bar on 1 2 to fraction? Just there is a shortcut trick. You have to write the numerator first, 412. Okay, then you have to subtract the digits on which there is no bar, irrespective of the decimal point. Forget about the decimal point. Now see on how many digits or on which digits there is no bar. You can see there is no bar on 4, so you have to subtract 4. Then divided by, or in the denominator you have to write that number of 9s that contains bar on them, and that number of zeros that contains no bar on them after the decimal point. Okay, so now here after the decimal point there are 2 digits which have bar on them, so you have to write 2 9s. And after decimal point there is no digit having bar on it, so we will write no zeros here, and that is the answer 9 9. If it would be like this, 4.1343, and there would be 4 3, a bar on 4 3 only, then while we will be expressing this as fraction, you have to see there are 4 digits on the right hand side, and there are 2 digits having bar on them, so we have to write 2 9s, and there are 2 digits having no bar on them, then we would write 2 zeros there. Okay, so this is the shortcut trick. Now you will just subtract the numerator, so this becomes 408 upon 99. So you can see the terminating decimal numbers can be expressed as fractions, or fractions, some fractions can be expressed as terminating decimal number, and all the non-terminating repeating decimal numbers can be expressed as fractions, and some of the fractions can be expressed as non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. Now let's move to non-terminating non-repeating decimal numbers. So there are some numbers which doesn't end after decimal point, and there is also no repeating pattern in the digits after the decimal point, and those type of numbers are called non-terminating non-repeating. For example, you can see 0.01, 0.11 and so on. Okay, so you can see there is and so on means the number is not terminating, and there is 01, then 0.11 and so on, means you can see there is 01, then 01, then again it would be 0, then it would be repeating, but there is no 0 there, so it is non-repeating. Some more examples are 2.3223323322 and so on. You can see there is first 1 3, then 2 after the decimal point, then 2 3, 2 2s, then 3 3s, 2 2s, then there will be 4 3s, 2 2, means the same thing is not being repeated. Here 322, then 3322, then 33,322, so the same thing is not being repeated, so it is non-terminating non-repeating decimal numbers, and these type of decimal numbers can never be expressed in the form of fractions or p by q or any number divided by any number form. And there are some other numbers which have also this terminating decimal non-terminating non-repeating decimal expansion, such as we have studied root 2, yes, and root 5, pi. All these numbers doesn't have terminating decimal expansion or non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. They are non-terminating non-repeating decimal numbers. So this is all about the decimals. Now let's move to rational and irrational numbers. So at first let's discuss about rational numbers. In class 8 we were introduced to this type of numbers, and there we have studied the numbers which can be represented in the form of p upon q, where p, q are integers and q not equal to 0 are called rational numbers. Here I have written z. Z means the integer set. The capital letter is used to represent integer set. So when any number is in the form of p upon q, means some integer upon some integer, and there is no 0 in the integer, that is the condition or the limitation for rational numbers, are called rational numbers. For example, you can see 3 upon 5, minus 3 upon 8, 0 upon 9, 1 upon 5, 22 upon 6. All these numbers are rational numbers, or the numbers which is not in the form of this but can be expressed into the form of p upon q are also called rational numbers. For example, all the natural numbers. See, all the natural numbers, I am representing this as n. All the natural numbers are 1, 2, 3 and so on, and 1 can be written as 1 upon 1, 5 can be written as 5 upon 1. So 1, 5, 7, all the natural numbers, they are not in the form of p upon q but can be written in the form of p upon q. So all these natural numbers are also called rational numbers. Next, move to whole numbers. In whole number there is 0 and all the natural numbers. We have already checked for all the natural numbers here that all the natural numbers are rational numbers. Now let's check for 0. Can 0 be written in the form of p upon q? Yes, 0 can be written as 0 upon 1, or it can be 0 upon 7, or it can be 0 upon minus 8. You know 0 is equal to 0 upon any number. 0 upon something is equal to 0. So 0 can be written as p upon q, where p and q are integers. So this whole number set, the whole number set is also comes under rational numbers. All the whole numbers are rational numbers. Next, let's move to integers. Integers are what? 0, all the positive natural numbers, all the natural numbers and the negative of the natural numbers, that is -1, -2 and so on. We have already checked for this set 0 and natural numbers, that is the whole number set. Now let's check for all the negative integers. Yes, all the negative integers can also be written as we are writing the natural numbers as those natural numbers upon 1. Then the negative of the natural numbers, that is -5, can also be written as -5 upon 1. Okay, similarly all the negative integers can also be written as p upon q form. So all the integers are also rational numbers. Next, fraction. All the fractions are already in the form of p upon q. So all the fractions are what? Rational numbers. The condition is there will be no 0 in the denominator. Next, let's come to decimals. In decimals, we just recently saw that the decimals, the terminating decimal numbers and the non-terminating repeating decimal numbers are what? Rational numbers. So decimals, which decimals? The terminating and the non-terminating repeating or recurring. These type of decimal numbers comes under rational numbers. So that numbers that we have already studied as natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, fractions and terminating decimal numbers and non-terminating decimal numbers, they all are also called rational numbers as they can be written as p upon q form. Okay. Now let's move to irrational numbers. Which numbers cannot be written in the form of p upon q are called irrational numbers? Just the contrast one. Yes, and we know all the non-terminating, non-repeating decimal numbers can never be written in the form of p upon q. So all those type of decimal numbers are called what? Irrational numbers. And as we have studied there, the root over of any prime numbers, okay, or we can say pi, and there are also some other numbers which have this type of decimal expansion, and those numbers are called what? Irrational numbers. Okay, so this is all about rational and irrational numbers. Next, if all these rational numbers and irrational numbers taken together will get a number set, and that whole number set is called what? Real numbers. Okay, when rational numbers and irrational numbers are taken together to form a number set, that number set is called real numbers. And in this chapter we are going to discuss about the properties of real numbers later on the next videos.